Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Murmu coming up in the next hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi assures that the conspirators behind the Delhi car blast will not be spared, says security agencies will get to the bottom of the conspiracy. Home Minister Amit Shah chairs high-level meeting on Delhi blast. Intelligence and police chiefs attend the meeting. Case registered under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and the Explosives Act. Police investigation continues in top gear. Red Fort closed to visitors for 3 days. Traffic restrictions and diversions enforced to secure scene of the crime. Bhutanese king leads a prayer for the victims of the Delhi car blast in Thimphu. And US Senate passes bill to end the longest ever government shutdown, sends the bill to House of Representatives for approval. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today gave a stern warning to all those responsible for the Delhi car blast, saying conspirators will not be spared. He said the entire nation stands with grieving families, ensuring that the security agencies will get to the bottom of the conspiracy.
आज मैं यहाँ बहुत भारी मन से आया हूँ। कल शाम दिल्ली में हुई भयावह घटना ने सभी के मन को व्यथित कर दिया है। मैं पीड़ित परिवारों का दुख समझता हूं। आज पूरा देश उनके साथ खड़ा है। मैं कल रात भर इस घटना की जांच में जुटी सभी एजेंसियों के साथ, सभी महत्वपूर्ण लोगों के साथ संपर्क में था, विचार विमर्श चलता था, जानकारियों के तार जोड़े जा रहे थे। हमारी एजेंसियां इस षड्यंत्र की तह तक जाएगी। इसके पीछे के षड्यंत्रकारियों को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। All those responsible will be brought to justice.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh echoed the same warning, saying those responsible for this tragedy will be brought to justice and will not be spared under any circumstances.
First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt condolences to all those who lost their lives in the tragic incident that occurred in Delhi yesterday. I pray to God to grant strength and solace to the bereaved families in this hour of deep grief. From this platform, I wish to assure my citizens that the country's leading investigative agencies are conducting a swift and thorough inquiry into the incident. The findings of the investigation will soon be made public. I want to formally assure the nation that those responsible for this tragedy will be brought to the justice and will not be spared under any circumstances.
Meanwhile, Home Minister Amit Shah today chaired a high-level security meeting on the blast with top security officers. Home Secretary, Intelligence Bureau Chief, Delhi Police Commissioner and NIA Chief, besides senior officials, attended the meeting. DGP, Jammu and Kashmir attended the meeting virtually. The Home Minister has already stressed that the top agencies in the country are investigating the incident with full intensity and that they will go in depth into the incident. A high-intensity explosion ripped through a slow-moving car at a traffic signal near Delhi's Red Fort metro station on Monday evening, killing at least 8 people and injuring several others. Delhi police on Tuesday registered a case under sections 16 and 18 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and the various sections of the Explosives Act and the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita at the Kotwali police station.
कोतवाली थाने के अंदर एफआईआर दर्ज कर ली गई है। उसके अंदर यूएपीए एक्सप्लोसिव्स एक्ट भारतीय न्याय संहिता की धाराओं के तहत मुकदमा दर्ज किया गया है। सीन ऑफ क्राइम देख रहे हैं। सीन ऑफ क्राइम के ऊपर फॉरेंसिक साइंस की एफएसएल की टीम भी है। उसके अलावा और भी स्पेशलाइज्ड एजेंसीज की दिल्ली पुलिस की टीम भी है, एनएसजी की टीम भी है, जो पूरे सीन ऑफ क्राइम को यहाँ पे एग्जामिन कर रही हैं, आसपास के इलाके को भी एग्जामिन कर रही हैं और जो भी इसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए ज़रूरी एविडेंसेज और ट्रेसेस हैं वो सारे कलेक्ट किए जा रहे हैं।
The Delhi Fire Services received a call regarding the explosion near the metro station gate number 1 at around 18:52 IST. The blast took place in a slow-moving car, following which several other vehicles also caught fire and sustained damage in the explosion. The area was cordoned off and rubber action force has been deployed. Besides, teams of Delhi Police, National Investigation Agency, National Security Guard and Forensic Science Laboratory are also investigating the incident. No terror outfit has so far claimed responsibility for the attack. Meanwhile, the national capital has been placed on high alert with strict vigil that is being maintained at the airport, railway stations and bus terminals. The Delhi Traffic Police issued an advisory regarding restrictions and diversions that have been put in place in both the carriageways and service roads in the Red Fort area. The Red Fort will remain closed to visitors from 11th to 13th November this year following the car blast investigation. Family members of Dinesh Mishra from Bharyach, a victim who was killed in the blast, said that they got the news of his death from television.
दिनेश
अभी जानकारी मिली है कि काम करते थे, क्या करते थे आप यहाँ रहते हैं?
मजदूरी करते हैं।
कैसे जानकारी मिली आपको?
टीवी देखते ही तो वहीं से जानकारी मिला।
कितने साल से वहाँ रहते?
10-12 साल।
दिल्ली में ब्लास्ट हुआ है, उसमें जानकारी मिली?
जी माझी लड़का है जी।
क्या नाम है?
दिनेश।
क्या करता था तू?
ये कारड वाले दुकान पर काम करता मुझे।
कैसे
जानकारी हम टीवी में जब देखा जी कि बम विस्फोट भा हो के अगल बगल क्वार्टर करे उनके, तो हम बड़े वाले लड़के के पास फ़ोन की कि देखो सही सलामत हो सब है कि वो बम दगा है। तो वो सब जब हेरे लगे तो इनके माझिल वाले लड़का का फ़ोन स्विच ऑफ। फिर और खोज की तो पता लग कि बम विस्फोट वहाँ ख़त्म हो गया।
Uncle of one of the deceased, Noman from Uttar Pradesh's Chamli, said, "We want strict action against those responsible for this."
कल 7 बजे वो सामान लेने के लिए दिल्ली गए थे, उसके बाद नहीं आ पाए। फिर हमारे पास कॉल आई थाने से या हॉस्पिटल से, हमें इस बारे में पता नहीं। तो वो बोले यहाँ से आ जाओ, इनका एक्सीडेंट हो गया लोकनायक हॉस्पिटल में। वहाँ जाके देखा उसकी डेड बॉडी पड़ी थी वहाँ से। हम यही चाहते हैं जी, जिसने वो काम करा उसको तो सख्त से सख्त कानूनी कार्रवाई हो।
Up on your screen is the exclusive CCTV footage of the white I-20 car moments before the blast. Police is going through the CCTV clips, including footage from nearby roads and parking toll plazas. The footage is being closely examined to determine the route of the car, who brought the vehicle to the parking area, who entered or exited the car, and who later drove it out. Investigators are also tracing the vehicle's full route from where it originated, how it reached the Red Fort parking, and how it later proceeded towards the traffic signal located directly in front of the monument. They are questioning locals and asking eyewitnesses to share information about any suspicious activity in the run-up to the incident. Mobile dump data is also being gathered. Meanwhile, Uttar Pradesh Police ATS, Jammu and Kashmir Police and Lucknow Police jointly conducted raids at several locations in Lucknow. Indian states of Maharashtra, West Bengal, Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, Hyderabad, Gujarat and Uttarakhand are on high alert, and so is Bihar, which votes in the second and final round of polling today. Bhutanese king led a prayer with thousands of Bhutanese for the victims of the car blast in Thimphu. Earlier speaking to DD India, Earlier speaking to DD India, Bhutan's Prime Minister Tshering Togbe offered condolences for Delhi blast victims.
We are deeply shocked at the incident that took place yesterday near the Red Fort. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the victims and those who are still recovering from the incident yesterday, their friends and their families. And even as investigations are going on, we stand in solidarity with the government and all the people of India.
The political fraternity across the globe too has condoled the loss of lives in the Delhi explosion. The European Union's ambassador to India, along with the envoy of France and the Egyptian embassy, offered condolences in the loss of lives in Delhi blast on Monday evening. The US State Department Bureau of Southern and Central Asian Affairs also expressed condolences over the high-intensity blast near Delhi's historic Red Fort. Extending condolences over the incident, President Mohamed Moitz of Maldives said that Maldives stands in solidarity with the people and government of India in this difficult time. Condolences also poured in from the ambassadors of Russia, Japan, UK and Argentina. The ambassadors extended prayers for the injured and the deceased. The embassy of Iran also expressed deep sorrow and conveyed its sympathies. Still to come on DD India Newshour. Bihar votes in the second and final phase of the assembly elections today. Sergio Gore sworn in as the next US ambassador to India. In a significant outreach to the Indian diaspora, the Consulate General of India in Toronto is organizing special consular camps across Canada this month.
Goa, an adventure paradise like none other. From lush forests to rugged hills, from pristine ocean beach stretches to stunning lakes, there is something to explore in every corner of the state. And some adventures are wilder than others. Watch Postcards from Goa on National Geographic.
This week on Defense Dynamic, we decode why for India a unified rocket force is no longer an option but a strategic necessity. which Asian navies are redefining the undersea power balance in the Indian Ocean, and why Pakistan's Hangor-class submarine may not be the game changer it's claimed to be. We break down India's engine dream as Defence Minister calls to build jet engines in India by Indians and on Indian soil. And in my take, how the Russia-Iran railway corridor is redrawing the map of Eurasian geopolitics. Catch the sharpest insights on power, posture and strategy this Wednesday at 8 p.m. IST only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Newshour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived this morning at Bhutan's Paro International Airport on a two-day state visit to the Himalayan nation. In Thimphu, Prime Minister Modi attended the program marking the 70th birth anniversary of His Majesty the 4th Druk Gyalpo in Thimphu. Addressing the gathering there, PM Modi hoped that the two countries walk the path of peace, prosperity and shared progress.
भारत और भूटान सिर्फ सीमाओं से नहीं, संस्कृतियों से भी जुड़े हैं। हमारा रिश्ता वैल्यूज का है, इमोशंस का है, पीस का है, प्रोग्रेस का है। 2014 में प्रधानमंत्री पद की शपथ लेने के बाद मुझे अपनी पहली विदेश यात्रा में भूटान आने का अवसर मिला था। मैं आज भी उस यात्रा को याद करता हूं तो मन भावनाओं से भर जाता है। भारत और भूटान के संबंध इतने सशक्त और समृद्ध हैं। हम मुश्किलों में भी साथ थे, हमने चुनौतियों का सामना भी मिलकर किया, और आज जब हम प्रोग्रेस की प्रॉस्पेरिटी की तरफ चल पड़े हैं, तब भी हमारा साथ और मजबूत हो रहा है।
Besides, PM Modi and Bhutan King will inaugurate the Punat Sangchu 2 hydroelectric power project that has been jointly developed by India and Bhutan. PM Modi said that the project will increase Bhutan's hydropower capacity by 40%. He added that both the sides are also taking steps to cooperate in the solar energy sector.
आज भूटान में 1000 मेगावाट से अधिक का एक नया हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट लॉन्च कर रहे हैं, जिससे भूटान की हाइड्रो पावर कैपेसिटी में 40% की बढ़ोतरी हुई है। इतना ही नहीं, लंबे समय से रुके हुए एक और हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट पर भी फिर से काम शुरू होने जा रहा है। और ये हमारी पार्टनरशिप सिर्फ हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक तक सीमित नहीं है। अब हम सोलर एनर्जी में भी एक साथ बड़े कदम उठा रहे हैं।
President Draupadi Murmu will attend the 50th Independence Day program of Angola in Luanda today. Earlier this year in May, Angolan President João Lourenço had paid a successful visit to New Delhi. He had then extended an invitation for the same. Addressing the Angolan Parliament, President Murmu said that India had consistently supported the Angolan freedom struggle. Later in the day, President Murmu will proceed to Botswana for the second leg of her visit from 11th to 13th November. Her program includes bilateral talks with her counterpart, President Duma Boko, an address to the National Assembly of Botswana, and a visit to sites of cultural and historical importance. Sergio Gore was sworn in as the next U.S. ambassador to India on Monday, with U.S. President Donald Trump presiding over the swearing-in ceremony. Gore thanked Trump for entrusting him with the responsibility of the relationship with India and said, "I look forward to enhancing the relationship between our two nations. I look forward to doing a great job for you." In August, Trump nominated Sergio Gore as India's next ambassador and special envoy for South and Central Asian affairs. During his testimony before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee in September, Gore had emphasized that India is one of the most important relationships US has in the world. India is taking another decisive step towards a cleaner and greener future. New Delhi is hosting two-day international conference on green hydrogen from today, with focus on India's ambitious goal of National Hydrogen Mission. Under the framework of the National Green Hydrogen Mission, the conference aims to accelerate India's leadership in green hydrogen, from production and infrastructure to demand creation and global collaboration. India is aggressively pursuing green hydrogen production and use through its National Green Hydrogen Mission, with a goal of reaching 5 million metric tons of capacity per annum by 2030. This initiative aims to decarbonize various sectors, reduce fossil fuel imports, create over 6 lakh jobs, and position India as a global hub for green hydrogen production and export. In a significant outreach to the Indian diaspora, the Consulate General of India in Toronto is organizing special consular camps across Canada this month. These camps are making it easier for senior citizens to obtain life certificates, an essential requirement for pensioners living abroad. On Sunday, one such camp was held in Brampton, drawing a strong response from the community. Our correspondent Tarun Paul Singh brings us this ground report from the venue.
Snow is here, but it's not stopping the Indian Consulate from helping the people. Life certificate initiative has been taken by Indian Consulate. Huge lines are there. They are getting help from every corner. Let's talk with some people and know more about that.
Here at the Sikh Heritage Centre in Brampton, the community hall has transformed into a makeshift council office for the day. Since early morning, dozens of Indian origin senior citizens have been arriving to obtain their life certificates for pension purposes. The normally tranquil centre is bustling as council staff and local volunteers work together to assist the elderly attendees.
They don't take much time. They are very polite. They are cooperative. So we are very happy that the Consulate General of India has provided such an efficient staff.
In the main hall, help desks have been set up where consulate officials verify documents and issue life certificates on the spot. The service is provided free of charge and each certificate is processed within minutes. Local Indian pensioners have warmly welcomed this initiative. Many vote that having such service in own community saves them from long journeys or navigating complicated procedures. They describe the camp as efficient and well organized, a far cry from time-consuming process they faced in years past. For these elderly attendees, the convenience brought by the camp is more than just the time saved. It's reassurance that they have not been forgotten by the authorities back home.
Yeah, couldn't have been better day though. But it was good, well organized, and I think the staff came before time. And I think everyone's here for the same purpose, and it was nicely done.
Everybody is putting their efforts just for the betterment of the old citizens of Indian origin.
Yes, yeah, these are actually necessary with a lot of diaspora coming from India and other parts, so this obviously is needed.
A life certificate is an annual document required by Indian authorities for pensioners to prove they are alive in order to continue receiving their pension. In the past, overseas pensioners has often traveled to India or seek costly attestation abroad to fulfill this requirement. Now these hurdles have been removed. One of the first such camps earlier this month saw nearly 700 pensioners attended, highlighting the high demand for these services among the diaspora. This Brampton camp is a part of a series of outreach events being held by the Consulate General of India in Toronto throughout November. By bringing this facility to community centres, the Consulate is ensuring the efficient service delivery and the welfare of senior citizens remain a priority. Tarun Paul Singh, DD India, Brampton, Canada.
Still to come on DD India Newshour, US Senate passes bill to end government shutdown, sends to House of Representatives for approval. British-Hungarian writer David Zale wins Booker Prize for novel Flesh. Samrat Rana strips history at ISSF World Championships.
स्वागत आहे टू मॅग्नेटिक महाराष्ट्र. Share in the richness of Maharashtra as one family, united by the collective vision of building a better tomorrow.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium, we'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you. You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
This week on Defense Dynamic, we decode why for India a unified rocket force is no longer an option but a strategic necessity, which Asian navies are redefining the undersea power balance in the Indian Ocean, and why Pakistan's Hangoor-class submarine may not be the game changer it's claimed to be. We break down India's engine dream as Defense Minister calls to build jet engines in India by Indians and on Indian soil. And in my take, how the Russia-Iran railway corridor is redrawing the map of Eurasian geopolitics. Catch the sharpest insights on power, posture and strategy this Wednesday at 8 p.m. IST only on DD India.
The land of forests, nature's hidden jewel. Jharkhand is a traveler's paradise. Get ready for a sensory extravaganza, complete with ancient traditions and world-class lifestyles.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour. A recap of the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi assures that the conspirators behind the Delhi car blast will not be spared, says security agencies will get to the bottom of the conspiracy. Home Minister Amit Shah chairs high-level meeting on Delhi blast. Intelligence and police chiefs attend the meeting. Case registered under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and the Explosives Act. Police investigation continues in top gear. Red Fort closed to visitors for 3 days. Traffic restrictions and diversions enforced to secure the scene of crime. Bhutan King leads a prayer for the victims of the Delhi car blast in Thimphu. Let's now take you back to the top story that we are tracking here on DD India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has assured that the conspirators behind the Delhi car blast will not be spared. He said the security agencies will get to the bottom of the conspiracy. Besides, Home Minister Amit Shah today chaired a high-level security meeting on the blast with top security officers. Home Secretary, Intelligence Bureau Chief, Delhi Police Commissioner and NIA Chief, besides other senior officials, attended the meeting. While the DGP of Jammu and Kashmir joined virtually, the Home Minister has already stressed that the top agencies in the country are investigating the incident with full intensity and that they will go in depth into the incident. Meanwhile, Delhi Police has registered a case under sections 16 and 18 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and various sections of the Explosives Act and the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita at the Kotwali police station. DD India's Kriti Vadera now joins us from outside the residence of the Home Minister. Kriti, bring us up to speed with the developments so far. Has the meeting concluded?
Well, yes, Murmu, the meeting which was on since 11 a.m. in morning, this high security level meeting has just been concluded and all these officials here have just left, and here we got to know the major highlights of this high security level meeting, which I would like to bring it here. A full-scale investigation is underway and Home Minister Amit Shah said in a very clear statement that no angle is being ruled out. And as PM Modi in Bhutan himself has stated this, that all the conspirators behind this blast will, a severe investigation is under the process, and the same has been claimed by the Home Minister Amit Shah, that no angle is being ruled out in terms of investigation when it comes to Delhi car blast case. Certainly, there's a strong possibility and a connection between the raid which happened in Faridabad in a joint venture of Jammu Kashmir Police and Haryana Police, and later in evening in Delhi the car blast took place. So all the angles are being put up, and all this was discussed in the meeting. And yes, the case under the UAPA and Explosive Act has been registered. This was informed to Home Minister from the officials, and all the central agencies have been informed to coordinate with Delhi Police in this investigation. And majorly Delhi Police, more than 200 security personnel of Delhi Police are in this investigation process, where they are examining the dumped mobile phones and the CCTV footage of this particular area of Chandni Chowk, and the way the road which this car took right from the Faridabad toll plaza to Chandni Chowk. The entire way CCTV footage is being examined thoroughly. So this is how the process of investigation has taken place since morning till now, and a heightened security in Delhi, in public areas, in metro stations, and especially in and around the heritage sites of Delhi is there. So Delhi Police is on foot on this is terms of investigation, as we just can't forget the fact that Red Fort was just adjacent to the site of the blast. So there's a major concern to the heritage sites, which is being monitored now, and security personnel are being deployed. So this is the major highlight which we got to know from after the meeting, and certainly all the central agencies are closely connected with Delhi police and are under the investigation is underway.
Right, we'll leave it at that. Kriti Vadera joining us from New Delhi. Moving on now, Bihar is witnessing the second and final phase of its high-stakes assembly elections 2025 on Tuesday as voting got underway from 7 in the morning Indian Standard Time across 122 constituencies that are spread over 20 districts. Around 31.38% voting has been registered till 11 in the morning, 11 IST in the concluding phase, which will play a decisive role in shaping the composition of the next state government. A total of 1,302 candidates are in the fray in this phase, which covers parts of central, western and northern Bihar. Nearly 3.7 crore voters are eligible to cast their ballots at 45,399 polling stations, the highest ever set up for an election phase in the state. Security has been significantly tightened across sensitive and vulnerable booths, with paramilitary forces stationed in key areas. Additionally, several points along the India-Nepal border have been sealed to prevent any cross-border movement or illegal activities that could disrupt the electoral process. The counting of votes for all 243 constituencies will take place on 14th November. Siddharth Bharadwaj is now joining us from Dinara. Siddharth, if you could tell us about the issues at the place where you are that are bringing people out to the polling booths to vote.
Hi Murmu, first of all a very good afternoon to you. I want to give you an update that as far as the voter turnout is concerned, then it is 47.62 in the second phase of the Bihar Assembly election, and as far as where I am right now in Rohtas district, it's 45.14. So that is the latest update that we are getting you. I am in Dinara Assembly constituency, and since 7 am we've been to 3 constituencies and this is the third one, and people are coming in large numbers to vote. When you talk about the issues that are bringing them here, the issues are employment, the issues are better infrastructure, issues are financial empowerment, women empowerment, migration, and on top of everything, the main issue is actually to make the state of Bihar a peaceful state. So these are some of the points, some of the issues that are bringing these voters out here. And since 7 am, like I just mentioned, people are coming in large numbers, and you could see I just told you the voter turnout, the percentage, and in a historic voter turnout in the first phase, as you also know, it was above 65%. So that goes on to show the kind of awareness in the people, in the voters, and that is also somewhere related to the Chhat festivities as well, Murmu, because when people are coming here in their own state during the Chhat festivities, they are saying that they will vote and then they will go. So that shows the kind of awareness that people are having, and on the top of it, the women voters, they are actively participating in large numbers. I would request my camera person now, Murmu, for our viewers to actually see what is happening where I am in one of the booths here in the Dinara constituency. You can see people are standing in large numbers. They are waiting for their turn, holding their voter ID card in their hand and the slip as well. Also, as far as the security is concerned, Murmu, then the Election Commission of India, is quite vigilant and is leaving no stone unturned to make sure that these elections are peaceful. These elections happen in a peaceful manner. Webcasting is something which is quite new and is there at every polling booth, Murmu. Let me tell you that total number of booths in the second phase are 45,399, and on every booth there is webcasting, means there is live tracking of the polling which is happening, and this is happening in Patna and some other areas as well. Again, to ensure that the voting process goes in a very smooth line manner. Women participation that we are seeing is in large numbers. Since morning 7 am, like I had told you, this is the third assembly constituency that I've been to, and women participation is amazing. It's massive and it's huge. When we had a word with people, they say that they are voting for development. You are asking about what is bringing them here is the development. They need development. They are saying that we are very happy with the way the state is progressing, but we want more development. There is more to it. So that is the reason what they are bringing, what is bringing them to here, to the polling booths, and they're very, very excited. You know, in a country which is considered as the world's largest democracy, and in a state which is often referred to as the political mirror of India, such participation is absolutely amazing to see. And in Dinara constituency, you can see the security measures. I would like also my camera person to show you the security measures, Munmun. You can see here, additional security forces have been deployed. There are regular checks. People are not allowed to carry their smartphones inside the polling booth. They have to submit their smartphones outside. This is a kind of security that has been deployed. There are somewhere around 8,400 critical booth polling locations in which additional forces have been deployed, and they will be, more vigilant there. Additional security would be there, and more checks would be there in those areas that I just mentioned. So all in all, when you see so much voter participation, it certainly goes out to show that how aware people are, and how keen and excited they are. When we talk about the first-time voters in the state, Munmun, they are somewhere about 15 lakh first-time voters. We had a word with them also. They were very, very excited. They said now that we have turned 18, we are very excited to vote. So then also again, it goes on to show that how people are getting aware, how they are getting to know the worth of their vote, and which is something, tells a lot about a state's progress. Munmun, back to you.
Absolutely, Siddharth. So we see enthusiastic voting happening in phase 2 of the Bihar Assembly elections as well. Siddharth Bharadwaj reporting from Dinara Assembly constituency in Bihar. Moving on, the US Senate passed a legislation to reopen the government and end the record-long shutdown. President Trump backed the measure, making it likely that the bill could come to his desk within days. Meanwhile, the consequences of the shutdown have been compounding. US airlines cancelled more than 2,000 flights, and the Federal Aviation Administration limited private flights at a dozen major US airports. Here's a report.
The US Senate on Monday passed a bill that will fund the government through January 30th and fund some agencies like the Department of Agriculture and Veteran Affairs for the remainder of the fiscal year. The bill narrowly passed by a 60-40 vote. 8 Democrats voted for the bill, while Senator Rand Paul was the only Republican to vote against the bill. It next heads to the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, where Speaker Mike Johnson said that he's expecting the lower chamber to hold a vote on government funding as early as Wednesday. If it passes there, it would go to President Donald Trump for a signature and end the government shutdown now in its 41st day. The final version of the bill extends government funding through January 2026. It also includes 3-year-long funding bills for various federal agencies and programs and reinstates federal workers who were laid off during the shutdown. Earlier, Trump said on Monday that the deal to end the government shutdown was very good, adding that he would abide by the agreement while noting some terms might still change.
Well, I will be. I'll abide by the deal. The deal is very good. We're not going to be giving $1.5 trillion to people that came in from jails and from, the gangs and drug dealers and all of these others that they wanted to be given health care, which would have hurt our health care system. I hope that we're going to be able to have a health care where Lindsay and I were discussing it, Jim and I were discussing it, and Katie, we discussed it. We want a health care system where we pay the money to the people instead of the insurance companies.
Meanwhile, thousands of flights were cancelled at the nation's busiest airports. US President Donald Trump on Monday demanded air traffic controllers return to work, threatening to curtail the pay of any controller who did not go back. Trump stood by the claim in his post that he would send a $10,000 bonus for anyone who worked throughout the entirety of the shutdown. Trump also said his administration will begin establishing a new air traffic control system in the coming weeks.
We are now in the process, we're in final bids of getting the finest system anywhere in the world. I've analyzed it. Sean Duffy has been working really hard on it, doing a fantastic job, by the way. And over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be handing out the finest air traffic control system anywhere in the world. All the towers will be equipped.
Despite Trump's threatening social media post, the Federal Aviation Administration reported late on Monday that it had staffing issues at nearly 24 air traffic facilities across the United States. Given how extensive the disruptions were, airline executives were pessimistic that the FAA would lift the restrictions anytime soon. Bureau Report, DD India.
US President Donald Trump has threatened legal action against BBC over its edited 2021 Capitol speech, which the British broadcaster admitted was an error of judgment. In a letter, Trump's lawyer said the BBC must retract its documentary by Friday or face a lawsuit for no less than $1 billion. The letter also demanded that BBC issue an apology and compensate Trump for alleged reputational and financial harm. A BBC documentary misrepresented Trump's January 6 speech, omitting his calls for peaceful action, which his lawyers deemed false and defamatory. The controversy and broader criticism led to the resignations of BBC Director General Tim Davie and News Chief Deborah Turnus. Earlier on Monday, BBC Chair Amit Shah apologized for the edit but denied a systemic bias following a leaked internal report criticizing the broadcaster's coverage ahead of the 2024 US presidential election. In Egypt, election began for the first phase of parliamentary elections to choose members of the House of Representatives nearly 2 years after President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi was elected to a third 6-year term. This is the final term Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is allowed under the current constitution. Polling is held over several phases and continues for more than 5 weeks. Egypt's 596-seat House of Representatives includes 568 elected members, 284 chosen through the closed list system and 284 through the individual system, in addition to 28 members directly appointed by presidential decree. Expatriate voting took place on November 7 and 8 in Egyptian embassies and consulates across 117 countries. The results of the first phase will be announced on 18th November. Phase 2 will take place on November 21 and 22 for expatriates and on November 24 and 25 for citizens across the remaining 13 provinces. The results of the second phase will be announced on 2nd December. Ecuador has moved 300 high-risk inmates to a new maximum security prison on the country's coast a day after 31 prisoners were killed in a riot in the south. The new facility has capacity for more than 700 people. According to the National Prison Agency, Ecuador's prison system is currently 30% over capacity. At least 31 inmates died on Sunday at the Machala prison in southwestern Ecuador in a clash between the Los Lobos and Sao Box gangs. According to government data, of the victims, 27 were suffocated by their rivals. Interior Minister John Reimberg earlier on Monday said Sunday's violence broke out after inmates learned they were going to be transferred. It also came just days before a national referendum in which President Daniel Noboa is seeking voter approval for foreign military bases on Ecuadorian soil and to convene an assembly to rewrite the constitution. Officials and guests at Nigeria's newly established Museum of West African Art were forced to evacuate after protesters stormed the premises, disrupting plans for the institution's opening in Benin City. Museum staff and guests were seen leaving in vehicles amid protesters' jeers and shouts. The protest centered on allegations that the Museum of West African Art lacks transparency and has failed to respect traditional authority in the historic city. Some protesters described the opening as illegal, claiming the Oba of Benin, the traditional ruler, was not consulted about the event. While the museum linked the protest to administrative disputes and advised against visiting while emphasizing its independent non-profit status. Schools in Mali's capital Bamako reopened on Monday after a 2-week closure caused by a nationwide fuel shortage that halted transport and kept students and teachers home. The government had shut schools to manage a blockade by Al-Qaeda-linked militants that triggered severe supply disruptions. At one high school, classes resumed smoothly, though staff feared delays in completing lessons. Parents welcomed the reopening but worried further fuel shortages could again hinder teachers' commutes and disrupt the academic calendar. Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy posted on X on Monday that the truth will prevail after a court ruled he could be released while appealing his conviction for conspiring to secure funds from Libya. He expressed gratitude to those who supported him and said he would now focus on the appeal process. Sarkozy was imprisoned on 21st October following a September conviction for criminal conspiracy related to efforts by close aides to obtain funding for his 2007 presidential campaign from late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. The court determined he was not a flight risk and did not need to remain in custody while appealing. His release does not indicate the likelihood of success in the appeal. Sarkozy continues to deny any wrongdoing, describing himself as a target of revenge and hatred. British Hungarian author David Zale has won the 2025 Booker Prize for his novel Flesh, a haunting tale of ambition, loss and identity. Zale's win marks his first Booker after previously being shortlisted in 2016 for All That Man Is. David Zale's novel Flesh tells the tortured story of a Hungarian immigrant who makes and loses a fortune. The novel examines masculinity and moral decay through spare, powerful prose. He beat 5 other shortlisted authors to claim the prestigious literary prize. Speaking to the Booker Prize organizers, Zale said he wanted to craft a story that began with Hungary, ended with England, exploring Europe's deep cultural and economic divides. You're watching Lead India Newshour. Time for all the sports action. India has confirmed 2 medals at the Asian Archery Championships 2025 in Dhaka. Both the men's recurve team featuring Atanu Das, Rahul and Yashdeep Bhoge and the women's compound team of Jyoti Surekha, Pritika Pradeep and Deepshika reached their finals. The women's team overcame Vietnam and Bangladesh, while the men defeated Kazakhstan. Deepshika leads the individual compound rankings with 705 points. Both teams have set up a clash with archery powerhouse South Korea in the summit finals. The compound final on November 13 and the recurve final on November 14 as India aims to turn silver into gold. Young Indian shooter Samrat Rana created history in Cairo, clinching gold in the men's 10-meter air pistol at the prestigious ISSF World Championships. The 20-year-old became the first Indian pistol shooter in an Olympic discipline to be crowned world champion. His triumph also powered India to the team gold in the event. With 3 gold, 3 silver and 3 bronze medals overall, India climbed from 5th to 3rd in the medal standings. China continued to lead the table with 6 gold, 4 silver and 2 bronze. Samrat shot 243.7 in the final to beat back the challenge of China's Hu Kai, who took the silver in a nerve-wracking medal round with a score of 243.3. Significantly, this was also the first time 2 Indian shooters won medals in the same event at the World Championships. That's all in this edition of DD India Newshour, but do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. This is Murmu from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Newshour. Namaskar.